welcome. I'm Shivani Singh. Donald Trump once called himself the Tariff Man. It's a title he wears with pride. But his latest move isn't just about protecting American steel or cars. It's about using the American market as a leash for global diplomacy. The White House has just announced a 25% secondary tariff. The target is Iran, but the victims will be anyone who does business with Tehran. For India, this isn't just a trade hurdle, it's a geopolitical landmine. The Islamic Republic has been witnessing mass rallies and demonstrations for the past 3 weeks, calling for an end to the clerical regime. In turn, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has taken a hard line against the protesters, saying that demonstrators were running their own streets to make the president of another country happy, referring to the US president. 646 and counting. That's the number of Iranians who have died so far, as per human rights groups, as protests continue to roil the Islamic Republic. Now, Trump's 25% tariff declaration puts a spotlight on Iran's major trading partners. China is Iran's largest oil and trading partner and may be most affected by Trump's announcement. According to a CNN report, the new tariff could mean a minimum 45% tariff rate on goods from China versus the current rate of 20%. In the first 11 months of 2025, China exported $6.2 billion worth of goods to Iran and imported $2.85 billion, according to Chinese customs data. And that's not taking into account oil purchases. Analysts estimate that China has accounted for more than 90% of Iran's oil trade in recent years, imported through intermediaries, of course. And today we explain the what, when, why and how of this new ultimatum and why New Delhi needs to move fast. So what exactly has happened? US President Donald Trump has greenlit a policy that imposes a 25% duty on imports from any country that continues to trade with Iran. This is what we call secondary sanctions. Washington isn't just saying we won't trade with Iran. They are saying if you trade with Iran, you cannot trade with us, at least not without paying a massive penalty. For India, the US is the largest export destination. For Iran, India is a vital source of food and technology. Trump is forcing a choice: Tehran's oil and rice markets or the American dream. So when is this happening? It's happening right now. This is the centerpiece of the Maximum Pressure 2.0 campaign. The US administration wants to drain Iran's foreign exchange reserves before the next quarter. This isn't a slow burn policy. The executive orders are being drafted to make and take effect almost immediately. It's a shock and awe tactic designed to make companies in Mumbai, Berlin and Beijing drop their Iranian contracts overnight to avoid the 25% Trump tracks at the US customs. So why is Trump doing this? The logic is simple: money. Washington believes that the Iranian regime uses trade revenue to fund its proxies in the Middle East, from the Houthis to Hezbollah. By imposing a 20% or a 25% tariff on Iran's partners, Trump is effectively making Iran's goods toxic. If an Indian exporter sells $100 million worth of basmati rice to Tehran, but then faces a 25% surcharge on their $500 million exports to New York, the math simply doesn't work. Trump is using the scale of the US economy to bankrupt Iran by proxy. According to the Indian embassy in Tehran, India exported goods worth $1.24 billion to Iran in 2024-25, while it imported goods worth $0.44 billion, taking the total trade to $1.68 billion. Before that, in 2022-23, trade between the two nations was at $2.33 billion. The major Indian imports and exports actually to Iran include basmati rice, tea, sugar, fresh fruits, pharmaceuticals, soft drinks, which excludes the sharbat, kernels, HPS, boneless bovine meat, pulses and other products. On the other hand, major Indian imports from Iran include saturated methanol, petroleum bitumen, Alps, liquefied propane, dried dates, inorganic and organic chemicals, and almonds, among others. Now let's get to the most important part. How does this affect India? There are three specific pain points. Number one, the agriculture hit. India is Iran's primary source of basmati rice, tea and sugar. In 2024, India exported billions of dollars worth of agri-products to Tehran. If these companies are slapped with a 25% tariff on their US-bound goods, the Indian farmer actually feels the heat. Number two is the Chabahar port. This is India's gateway to Central Asia. India has invested millions in this Iranian port to bypass Pakistan. Under the first Trump term, Chabahar actually got a carve out on an exemption because it helped stabilize Afghanistan. But in 2026, Afghanistan is a different story, and Trump's patience for exemptions is thin. If Chabahar loses its protected status, India's regional connectivity strategy actually collapses. Number three, the rupee-rial mechanism. India and Iran have used a special payment system to bypass the US dollar. But a tariff isn't about the currency, it's about the customs gate. Even if India pays in rupees, the goods arriving in San Francisco from India will still be taxed if the company is tainted by Iranian trade. So what is the way out? New Delhi is already in negotiation mode. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has a tough task, convincing the tariff man that India's trade with Iran is essential for food security and regional stability. But Trump isn't looking for nuance. He is looking for a win. India might have to decide. Is the strategic value of Iran worth a 25% tax on the IT services, diamonds and textiles we send to America? The Iran tax is here. And for India, the bill is looking very expensive. Notably, the US has already levied a whopping 50% tariff on India, including a 25% tariff for purchasing Russian oil. Additionally, as recent as the first week of 2026, the US president issued a new threat to India, saying that the US could further raise these levies. The US president also greenlit a legislation that would impose 500% tariffs on any country that buys oil from Russia. Now, these tariff threats could hinder India-US ties even as the two nations continue to finalize a deal that would provide long-sought tariff relief to New Delhi. Thanks for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.